that the fighting isn't going to end anytime soon. Chibitar is making plans for her daughter to enroll in a school in Tbilisi in the fall.
That was Dina Temple-Raston, host of the podcast Click Here. You can hear more of those stories on that podcast, and we'll have a link on our website, marketplacetech.org. I'm Kimberly Adams, and that's Marketplace Tech. This is APM.
KSJE is supported by the Farmington Civic Center, bringing a full slate of entertainment to Farmington and San Juan County. A free concert with Farmington's Chevelle Shepherd, Saturday, July 2nd at 7:30 p.m. The Farmington Civic Center, 200 West Arrington in downtown Farmington. Find out more online at fmtn.org/shows or at 505-599-1148. Joining me this morning to talk a little bit about a special event that is happening this week at the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter from the Regional Animal Shelter Foundation. Karen Bayless is here with me in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you so much, Scott. You've always been so gracious to allow us to come whenever we're having our special events, and we've been fortunate we haven't had to have one for quite a few years.
Right.
But
back.
things have changed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the shelter is overflowing with adult dogs more than anything else.
Okay.
So, I don't know if people will remember this, but back in the day, excuse me, we had an event one year called Priceless Pets, and the pets were all free. We decided that was maybe not the best thing, so we changed it to $5 Friends.
Okay.
So for $5, starting today, people can go to the shelter and adopt any pet down there for $5 adoption fee. These pets have their initial shots.
Right.
They have been chipped with a microchip.
Right.
And they are either spayed or neutered. Nobody leaves the shelter without being fixed. But we are overwhelmed with dogs. Puppies also. Kittens are coming because we have about 150 in foster care right now out of the shelter, but they'll be coming in soon.
As soon as they get old enough to adopt, right? Is that kind of how it happens with the kittens?
They have to be old enough to be spayed or neutered.
Okay.
And so basically it's weight.
Yeah.
And so
But they're coming. You know they're coming.
Oh, they're
out there.
150 of them out in foster. Yeah, they'll be here soon.
Okay.
So starting at 11:30 this morning,
Yep.
Monday through Saturday, 11:30 to 5:30. The shelter the foundation is fortunate. We have very generous donors in this area, and we are going to pay the difference in price.
So it's $5 out of your pocket, people that want to adopt, and then the foundation is going to pay for the rest of it.
That's correct. And so for puppies, which are normally $100, we'll be paying $95. Kittens are $50, so we'll be paying $45. And then any cat or dog over 6 months old is only $25 right now, but it will be only the $5.
Okay.
So we are hopeful that we can make some space in the shelter. We haven't had this problem for 2 to 3 years, but it's back now, and it's sad, and we would love for them to be able to find a perfect forever home, and I mean forever.
Yeah.
It's you adopt for life, and as the shelter says, adopt, don't shop, and so those are the things. 11:30 to 5:30, Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
These pets
This
will be
week only, though.
This week only. I would ask you to look at the screen that has a link to the adoptions page for the shelter. You can go in there and see what all is available before you go down. There are some rules that have to be followed at the shelter. You can't take any animal out of its kennel without staff or a volunteer helping you. But you can look at all the animals online that are available for adoption. And if somebody looks like, oh, wow, or maybe 2 or 3 of them look like, wow, I'd like to meet these, then you have more of an idea when you walk in with all the barking dogs.
Right.
And the cat's looking at you through the glass like, I don't like you, but come on in.
Yeah.
You can have an idea, especially size-wise and maybe breed. Even a lot of them are, just mutts, but a lot of them are really sweet. And so a staff or volunteer will help you get them out, especially on the dog side, and take them either to a social room or outside to the grassed-in courtyard, and you can see how they react and how they play with you.
And Amber Francisco is great at reminding us every Tuesday, because she's on Tuesdays with me,
Right.
that some dogs don't present very well in their kennel, but when you see them out in a social room or out in the yard, they're much calmer and they're much more pleasant. And so I think for that first impression, you really want that to be a good one. And
Exactly.
so that's how to meet a new dog.
Right. And we'd ask you not to bring your pets with you into
That
the shelter.
first time.
Right.
Yeah.
If you find somebody that you think might fit into your home and you have pets already at home, you can talk with staff and see if they can figure out a way to have your prospective new member introduced to your other member. But don't bring them at the beginning, because it may be kind of hectic down there. A lot of people may be there looking for new pets. We hope so, because we hope that everyone that comes in will find someone that wants to go home with them that they will love for life. So
that would be great.
Yeah.
And big thanks to the foundation for doing this, because, those are going to add up when you're supplementing the cost of these adoptions. But for everybody that's been thinking about getting a new dog or cat for $5, you can't beat that price.
That's exactly right. And because they are fixed, which is very expensive at veterinarians, in case you've never done that, they are microchipped, so that if they're picked up by the animal control officer, they can scan them right there in the truck and see if they live in that neighborhood, and they'll have the beginnings of their shots. Or maybe all of their shots. They just don't do rabies there. You have to go to a vet to get that. So it's a great deal. You can adopt one, or you can find one on Facebook or whatever for free, but they're not going to have all of these great benefits with them. And they have been lovingly cared for by shelter staff. I can tell you it just, we all are down there, and the volunteers.
Right.
But I have to thank the generous donors from not only San Juan County, but across the nation. We get a lot of checks from the East Coast, and I have no idea why, but we're very grateful to them to be able, because we are now able to do this type of an event and help the pets have a happy home.
That's wonderful. Well, and we know that there are communities in our country that, not too far away even from Farmington, that don't have a homeless pet problem, and we actually send dogs and cats to these areas to be adopted out as well, because they don't have the problem that we have. So they realize that, there are areas in the country still like us that need some help to control this problem.
Exactly.
And so I think they're happy to donate, which is great.
I think it's fabulous for our pets. I mean, thank you to everyone who's donated. Every time I walk in there, the foundation this year spent $500 a month on dog and cat toys, and because they were always running low, and they have to go through the high heat in the dryer, and so they kind of destroy. But they have to do that to kill all the whatever.
Sure.
And I tell you what, every time you walk in with a bag of dog toys and cat toys, the dogs know you've got toys.
You were the most popular person in that building.
Definitely.
Yes.
So thank you again to our donors, because we've been able to make those pet lives a little bit happier.
No kidding. Very true. And again, I think kudos to the shelter staff who've been working on some of these transports to get the animals that we can't find homes for here to these other locations that do have families that want to adopt and things like that. And that certainly is a great future for them as well. But this is the plan for this week, this $5 Friends event. Today, when the shelter opens its doors at 11:30 till Saturday, you can go down and you can pick out a dog or a cat.
Or a kitten or a puppy.
And adopt for $5. The website, we've got it here. If you can search, of course, for the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter. I know they have animals on pettango.com, but this is the website from the city of Farmington, fmtn.org/583/9197/adoptions. And that will get you to the adoption page, and that's for the radio audience who can't see the screen.
Thank you.
To be able to know where to go, and you can take a look or stop down there and take a look at the animals, and then maybe go back and make a decision, and bring your $5 bill, and you're good to go.
Absolutely.
They're all ready to go.
They are ready to go.
Amber would say they've got their bags packed.
They have all their bags packed, yes.
They are ready to go. And big thanks to the Regional Animal Shelter Foundation for putting this all together, and again, using the dollars that you get in this way. I think it's a great resource to be able to offer this.
It's fabulous. We're just so grateful to all of our donors. So thank you, and please don't quit.
There you go. Very true. Karen, thanks for the work that you do. I know
Thank
you've been
you.
a big supporter of the animal shelter for a long time.
Well, down there doing laundry every Tuesday.
You're a volunteer doing laundry.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
well.
So if you ever get bored and you want to do something, you can always volunteer.
Right.
You can go through the city of Farmington.
Yep,
become
that's
a
how they
certified
sign up.
volunteer. Yep.
Okay.
But the other thing is, if you are not in the position to keep a pet for life right now, please consider being a foster parent. You only have to keep them until the puppies or kittens are old enough have to be spayed and neutered, and then and you bring them in once a week for a wellness check and get their shots and do all this. I mean, I've done it, and it's really rewarding, but unfortunately, I was a foster fail.
Oh, dear.
And those two stayed at my house.
I see.
So,
well, that happens.
So that
I've heard that happens
and
too.
And we like that too. So,
right.
But anyway, if you're not ready for a permanent home member, then think about fostering. It is kitten and puppy season right now. So we can always use more good fosters. Just call the shelter and visit with them, and they'll get you all set up.
Okay. Very good. And the other thing I wanted to mention before we run out of time is the dog walking program is back.
The dog walking
at the
program
shelter
is back.
And
yes.
so that's exciting too. If folks would like to go down and enjoy the park right out the front door of the animal shelter
Yep.
and take a dog with you, would love to get some exercise and get you some exercise, and it's a win-win.
Just bring your driver's license. You
That's all
have to
you
be
need.
18.
Okay.
And younger than 18 can walk with their parents. I can't tell you for sure if they get to have their own dog.
Okay.
I
They may have to share.
don't know that. Yeah, they may have to take turns sharing that dog. But you see families out walking these dogs all the time. And so it's a great way to get a lot of exercise. You're right there on Riverwalk. If you don't want to get a lot of exercise, I recommend that you ask them for the older dogs.
Right.
Because people overlook them because they don't want to go on a 2-mile run. But you can exercise them for 15 minutes. They're just happy to be outside.
That's right.
For that time. And
That's
you can
right.
get 4 of those done in 1 hour.
See?
So I do that.
That sounds like someone with experience who's done that. So
absolutely.
There you go. Wonderful.
Okay.
$5 Friends coming up this week, beginning today.
Yes.
All week long till Saturday.
Yes.
And $5 at the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter. So we invite you to check out the whole list. Yes.
The address.
It's
on Browning Parkway, and
Right.
I'm sorry, I think it's 133.
I think that's true.
Or is that it?
But yeah.
But go down
you certainly can
towards
find it.
the farm, or just look on a map. Look
There
for
you
the
go.
Farmington
It's
Regional
by
Animal Shelter.
By the Farmington Municipal Operations Center there
Right,
off of Browning.
absolutely.
There's a stoplight.
Sorry,
so you can't miss it.
I didn't come prepared. I'm sorry.
That's okay, and I should know it, and I don't. But it's right there on Browning Parkway. It's really in the middle of town.
Yes.
So it's
Just across
not
the
too
bridge.
far from anywhere.
Yeah, just across the bridge before you get to the feed store.
Heading south. That's true.
Yep.
Very true.
There you go.
Karen, thanks so much.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. That's Karen Bayless from the Regional Animal Shelter Foundation talking about $5 Friends all this week at the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter.
This is the Engines of Our Ingenuity from Houston Public Media, News 88.7.
Today, we look for harmony